Okay, so here, F, G, H, and I, the answers are there. Hopefully you can make out those. Based on my writing on this is pretty bad. Okay, so continuing off notes, we're going to try to get as far as we can through here. Okay, so type 2 ionic compounds. Okay, so the first ones were binary ionic. They either had a metal that only had one oxidation state or metals that had two. The ones that had two, you needed to use Roman numerals or the Latin version of those. Type 2 ionic compounds, these are going to be ones that contain one or two polyatomic ions and therefore have more than one element in their formula, or actually more than two elements in their formula. These elements in a polyatomic ion stay together in most chemical reactions, and the entire group of atoms carries the oxidation charge. Is it imperative that you memorize these? When we get back to school, you will eventually have to test on these without having your ion sheet. So for right now, you can get away with looking at it, but you need to practice these and try to get these ions down by memorization. If you must add subscript after a polyatomic ion, it must be placed in parentheses first, and the subscript added on the outside, no exception. So let me show you what that kind of looks like. Let me scroll here. We're going to still balance the charge. So we need to identify the ions. So aluminum is Al3+, nitrate NO3, 1-. Okay, so polyatomic ions, you are treating this entire portion at having a 1 negative charge. So you keep the NO3 portion together. So let's crisscross this. Okay, the 3 comes down, the 1 goes down here, and what we get is Al1, which we don't write the 1, it's understood. But since we need 3 nitrate groups, we have to put the nitrate in parentheses. And then the 3 goes on the outside of the parentheses. Okay, let's do another one. We'll do cupric sulfate. Now, this particular one, if you identify the ions, a Cu2+ and a SO4 2-, because they're the same number but opposite charges, we only need one of each type of ion. And so here, we would not put parentheses around the polyatomic because we only need one of them. Okay, on C, let's do a few more. Zinc is a 2+, chlorate, ClO3, 1-. Okay, because the charges don't match, we can't just cancel them out and make them 1-to-1. We are going to need how many chlorates? Well, we'll need 2 of them. And then the last one, and then you're going to pause or stop the video and try them on your own, magnesium phosphate. So Mg, 2+, phosphate is PO4, 3-. This one is really good for crisscrossing, so Mg, 3. We need 2 PO4s. Okay, and there we go. So let's stop the video and you work on doing F, G, H, and I, and then we will continue to, let me go ahead and write those. Pause the video for yourself. I'm going to write these real quick so you can have them because the next set of lessons is a completely different type. So, pause the video, practice these, and then I will continue on with the final answers. Okay, so at this point, you will be able to work several of the worksheets. Let me pull some up. You should be able to do writing and naming binary ionic compounds. You should be able to do writing and naming polyatomic compounds as well. And let's focus on just getting those 2 done and